Play is underway in the final Ashes test, with England looking to secure their first series win in Australia for 24 years. The team's success on the tour has been followed and soundtracked by a very dedicated group of fans. Our Australia correspondent Ian Woods went to meet them.
There's more than one lot of Ashes at stake on Australian soil.
Here we go, boys. Another wicket coming.
Matches between the two sets of supporters have been staged prior to every test, and going into the final one in Sydney, the score was 2-all. Would the Barmy Army witness another English triumph?
It's always been absolutely brilliant. Is that another wicket?
It is.
Lovely, it's getting better.
Even better when an Australian legend was there to watch. Glenn McGrath's English wife Jane died of breast cancer 3 years ago, and the supporters were raising money for his foundation. Players and fans now wear pink at every Sydney Test match, even those who used to give McGrath some stick when he was tormenting English batsmen.
I always field on the boundary, generally in front of the Barmy Army, and if they didn't give me a hard time, I was disappointed.
Have you been suffering a bit during this series?
I have been, yeah. It's been tough watching. It's been, England have obviously played very well, and we probably haven't played as well as we would have liked.
Winning the final Test match would complete a memorable tour for those who've travelled so far.
Seeing English success on the field is all the sweeter because of the expense involved in getting here. The Aussie cricket team might not be very strong, but the Aussie currency is at a record high, and that has made it the most expensive tour ever for England fans.
Visitors used to get $3 to the pound, but that generous exchange rate has been halved, meaning some supporters couldn't afford to come. Those who did have been well rewarded.
You cannot beat this. Money cannot pay for the experiences we've had on this tour. The highs and the lows, it's been like a massive roller coaster. Fantastic. You couldn't pay for it.
You could save money on travel by walking. Proving that the tour isn't all about cricket and beer, Robin Moore raised money for a cancer charity, taking a month to walk 700 miles to Sydney and missing out on the dramatic events in Melbourne.
Just couldn't believe it. I mean, that did give me a good boost, I must say. That put a spring in my step.
You didn't think I'd rather be in the ground than walking?
Well, naturally, I'd love to have been in the ground, but then my job is to be here to support the Barmy Army and help support their charities.
Despite the bitter rivalry, there's grudging respect for the old enemy.
I love the Australians. I think they're great. I want to beat them at cricket. I can't think of anything worse than losing to them at cricket because of the way that they rub your nose in it. Games like this wouldn't be able to happen if there wasn't that friendship there. So no, it's very much friendship, but we definitely want to have the upper hand, and we're loving it after all those years.
Some of the fans staged an assault on the iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge, hoping that the England players can scale similar heights by clinching a 3-1 series victory. Ian Woods, Sky News, Sydney.